new shoes. And then maybe this is not the shoe package. Biodegreaser.
Aww.
I thought I would get my new shoes.
Definitely aren't your shoes.
Oh, still no shoes. F that. I think I finally got my new shoes. Right. Ready? Oh, you didn't see it anyway. Look at that. And this is not sponsored. Swiss technology. And now that I've got my new shoes, I'm gonna try to run 1 mile as fast as I can. 18th of March 2021, first 1 mile PR attempt. Starting now. Alright, so let me give you some general comments about this run. First of all, I started way too fast. 100 meters in, my pace was 2 minutes 48 seconds per kilometer. That's like 4:30 per mile. And you know, it backfired in the end. But strong start, let's just say that. Already at 500 meters, my pace had dropped to 3 minutes 33 seconds per kilometer. And that's 5 minutes 40 seconds per mile. So at this point, I was already falling behind. My heart rate was around 190 beats per minute. Throughout the run, I think the peak was 192. And one positive note is that my cadence was really good. Throughout the run, my cadence was between 185 and 190. Usually the elite runners, they run at or above 180 steps per minute. I was able to keep the pace quite steady after this, even though I did drop all the way to 3 minutes 51 seconds per kilometer at 1.1 kilometers. For the last 500 meters, I increased my pace. I was able to go all the way back to 3 minutes 28 seconds per kilometer. And well, you can't hear it from the video, but I was literally dying at that point.
Need to move a bit. You probably can't see it, but 5 minutes 34 seconds. And now that I know my 1 mile time, I can use Jack Daniels running formula to create a training plan for a sub 5 minute mile.
Daniels running formula. Jack Daniels and Jimmy Gilbert tested runners for years, and with all accumulated data from those tests, they created what is now called the VDOT Table. It's basically a table that quite accurately predicts how fast you can run a certain distance, and it can also be used to create your training zones. The only thing you need to do to use the table is to run any of the common distances, like a mile or a 10K, and then look up your VDOT value from the table. With a 5:30 mile, my current VDOT value is 52. If I want to run a sub 5 minute mile, I need to have a VDOT value of 60. I can also see that currently I could run a sub 20 minute mile, a barely sub 40 minute 10K, and a 3 hour and 4 minute marathon. Oh! I hit my finger to the table. But what's more, with my VDOT value, I can also derive the running paces for different intensities. Daniel uses 5 different intensity zones for running, which are easy, marathon, threshold, interval, and repeats. Each intensity zone is also specified with a VO2 max and a heart rate range. Easy runs build up a certain degree of resistance to injury, and it increases the vascularization. The benefits of marathon pace running are pretty similar to easy running. Threshold runs, on the other hand, allow your body to improve its ability to clear blood lactate and keep it below a fairly manageable level. The purpose of interval training is simply to maximize aerobic power, or VO2 max. And finally, the purpose of repetition training is to improve your anaerobic power, speed, and economy. Each intensity zone has its own pace or pace range. With a VDOT value of 52, my easy running pace is between 4 minutes and 47 seconds and 5 minutes 24 seconds per kilometer. My marathon pace is 4 minutes 22 seconds per kilometer. Threshold pace is 4 minutes and 7 seconds per kilometer. Interval pace is 91 seconds per 400 meters. And then for repetitions, 42 seconds per 200 meters, 64 seconds per 300 meters, and 85 seconds per 400 meters. So now that I know my intensities and my paces, I just need to know how much of each type of running I need to do. Let's first look at the big picture, the whole season. Each season consists of 4 phases. Phase 1 consists mostly of E-runs. Daniels suggests that each new phase should only introduce one new stress. So phase 2 introduces repetitions. And I'm actually already past phase 1 because I've been doing easy running for the past 5 to 6 weeks based on the training plan I got from this book. In phase 3 you'll still do a lot of easy running with some repetitions, but the emphasis is now on interval runs. And then on phase 4 you'll start doing threshold runs. Ideally each phase would consist of 6 training weeks, which are represented by the stickers. Okay, so now that we got the structure for the whole season planned out, we can take a closer look at a training week. In his training plan for the mile, Daniel suggests 3 quality sessions each week. Q1, Q2 and Q3. And they are the ones that include repetitions, intervals and threshold running. All the other runs are easy runs that build up your mileage and aerobic base. One of those easy runs should be a long run. I'm aiming for around 50 kilometers per week, but I'll start a bit easier at 40k and see whether my body can handle it. To give you an example, here's week 1 of phase 4. As I said, there's 3 quality runs, and all the other runs are just easy runs, and you can choose the distance yourself. First quality workout, 20 minutes easy, then 3-minute threshold run, 8 strides, and then 20 minutes easy. Second quality workout, 20 minutes easy, a 600 meter repeat, 600 meter jog, 2 times 400 meter repeat with 400 meter jog, 4 times 200 meter repeat with 200 meter jog, and then 10 minutes easy. Third quality workout, 20 minutes easy, 3 times 1 mile threshold with 2-minute rests, 6 times 200 meter repeats with 200 meter jogs. Now, Daniel suggests that you should always stay at a chosen degree of stress for 4 to 6 weeks before making changes. After 4 to 6 weeks, it's reasonable to assume that your VDOT value has increased by 1. And when it increases, it's also a good idea to adjust your paces to this new fitness level. But if it takes 4 to 6 weeks to increase your VDOT value by 1, and I need to get my VDOT value from 52 to 60, it would take me anywhere from 32 to 48 weeks to run a sub 5 minute mile. Now, I don't really have that much time, but this is what I came up with. So here's a timeline. This is present moment. This is 10th of July 2021. Each of these stickers represents 1 week, so this is 17 weeks. Now the reason why I can't spend too much time on the sub 5 minute mile is that on the 10th of July 2021 I have a 100k run. And I want to prepare for that for 9 weeks. So let's just put this here. This time is dedicated for the 100k run. So what we're left with is 8 weeks of training for the sub 5 minute mile. And you might look at this and say, well, you can't train for a sub 5 minute mile and a 100k run. And the way I see it, the 8 weeks here is for training my anaerobic capacity, and the 9 weeks following that are for training my aerobic capacity. Of course, both of these are trained in both of these training phases, but you know, the emphasis here is on anaerobic and the emphasis here is on aerobic capacity. And yeah, most probably I'm not gonna achieve a sub 5 minute mile in 8 weeks, but I might achieve it later on, because even when I'm training for a long distance event like this, my 1 mile time will most certainly keep improving. For instance, one research paper found that for a 1 mile run, 80% of your energy is aerobic and only 20% is anaerobic. So based on that, this aerobic capacity training will not go to waste. So I'm hoping sometime next summer I could run a sub 5-minute mile. But everything I've said in this video is gonna be here in this 8-week period, which is relatively short period of time for this, And this was only about my training plan for endurance. I have separate plans for strength and skills, but I think that's a topic for another video. Finally, if you do want to train for a sub 5-minute mile, I highly recommend that you buy this actual book, because this was just a summary of the content in this book. And to end this video, whoa, okay, cool. To end this video, I'm just gonna leave you with a quote from the book. Consistency in running is the single most important thing that leads to success.
This also made me realize just how much training I need to do to be able to solve a Rubik's Cube while running a sub 5-minute mile. I mean, I literally could not have done anything other than run just now. So, I don't know. I mean, running a sub 5-minute mile is one thing, but running it semi-casually is a totally different thing. I would probably need to run like 430 miles to be able to run a sub 5-minute mile casually. So there's a lot of work to do if I want to do that.